Josh Wale eventually stopped Bobby Jenkinson to retain his British bantamweight title for the second time, but not without a scare from an unusual source. The 29-year-old outlaw was on the verge of forcing a TKO win in the 8th round of his clash at the Ponds Forge Arena when a chair was hurled from the Sheffield crowd. Luckily, it narrowly missed both Wale and Jenkinson as it bounced off the ropes, although it did hit a journalist sitting next to WBN reporter Jacob Kilbride at ringside. Wale went on to seal the victory in the very next round, although the triumph was almost ruined by incident, which was captured on Free Sports TV as it happened. Wale on the verge of stopping Jenkinson, and in comes the toe chair. Fucking hell, smiley face. Twitter.com/SMutsMFWAG, WWBoxingChat, at WWBoxingChat, February 2, 2018. On the undercard, report by Jacob Kilbride, Brad Watson caused the upset of the evening as he stopped undefeated home favorite Lua Nasa in the final round of their 10-round brawl to claim the vacant English title. Watson, 11-2, was unfancied by those sitting ringside, having lost his last fights and not won since 2014, but he knocked down Nasa, 10-1, 3 times before the referee waved off the contest. From the outset, it was Nasa who set the early pace of the contest with his neat jab and accurate counters, seeing him take the opening 2 rounds, much to the delight of the passionate and loud crowd. Watson enjoyed some rare success in the third, who showed his power with some heavy shots laid on, although a nasty cut to his nose, which was ruled an accidental clash of heads, left him hurt. Rounds 4 and 5 saw Nasa reassert his early dominance, and, when fighting on the outside, he looked in control. Watson impressed in brief moments, troubling the home fighter when in close proximity, but it was never enough to win the rounds. At the halfway stage, Nasa was up on the cards and looked set to jab his way to another win. But then came round 6. The Sheffield fighter started well and landed a few significant blows upstairs, but, with 30 seconds remaining, a flash right hook counter from Watson put Nasa down, for the first time in his career, stunning the crowd and, most significantly, Nasa. Watson launched an attack on the 22-year-old on the ropes in the dying seconds, but couldn't find the early finish just yet. Clearly sensing that the end for Nasa was imminent, Watson disregarded his defense to stand toe-to-toe and trade with Nasa in a barnstormer of a round in the 7th, in what was easily the best 3 minutes of action seen all evening. Both fighters took extraordinary punishment in a battle of the chins, and somehow both stayed on their feet, with Nasa rallying to finish with a nice combination on the bell. Watson found particular success with the right uppercut early on in the 8th and clearly held the advantage in terms of power. Once more though, Nasa showed grit and rocked his Guernsey opponent with a counter left hand laid on. The 9th came around, for the first time in either fighter's careers, and by now it was a battle of the wills. Further brawling ensued in the opening stages, and by now Watson's power seemed to be showing in a round that was clearly his. It was Watson who had won the battle of the resilience and stamina, though, as in the 10th and last he twice sent, firstly with another big right hook before forcing Nasa to ground with another attack on the ropes. Nasa rose to his feet twice, but the referee saw enough the second time round, waving off the contest and cueing some huge celebrations from Watson and his team. Jacob Kilbride is a staff writer for World Boxing News. Follow on Twitter at Jacob_.